information gained, but how can he do it with just the operator? The double swing, Enzo! You can't be doing this, son! A 1v2, swaps the weaponry around, the players are low, a single bullet on either of them, it might be enough, it could be enough! The horn dropped, positioning gained. And now the defuse stuck down to half. He knows where the opposition is. He's sticking it! What an insane play from Enzo! Ice cold!
In today's video, I'm going to give you the ultimate beginner guide to make learning Valorant the easiest it can be for you. I can ramble on, so make sure to jump to the time sections for the part you would like to see. Lesson 1. This is the most needed piece of advice that people need to hear. Skins equal wins. Valorant is a 5v5 tactical FPS shooter that prides itself on precise gunplay. However, also with unique agent abilities, it makes it more complicated and difficult to actually get into it. Attackers carry a spike to blow up defender sites. Attackers can win by planting the spike and preventing it from being defused, or by killing all the defenders. Defenders can win by killing all the attackers, or if the attackers are planted, you can defuse the bomb. Each round has two phases, the buy phase and the action phase. However, after the round ends, there is also a brief time that planting and killing can still happen. The action phase is 1 minute 40 long, where you either attack or defend in 12 round rotations. To win the game, it's first to 13 rounds, or if you tie 12-12, you go to overtime. In overtime, you'll now rotate attack and defense every round, and it's the first to win by 2 clear points. There's 5 different categories of agents in Valorant. For those that want to play aggressive and entry, you should take a duelist. You then have initiators, which make entry on your site easier for your duelists. Next up you have sentinels. These are agents that excel at defending, and last you have controllers. In my opinion, when playing Valorant, you can have any team composition as long as you have at least one controller. This is because they possess smokes as one of their utility, which can block off angles and make attacking and defending much easier. Every agent gets a free ability at the start of each round. The 2 other non-ultimate abilities have to be purchased in the buy phase, and you can't regen abilities, so be conservative in how you use them. Last, you have your ultimate. This works through an ult point system, where you get a point for a kill, death, plant, and defuse, or for collecting an ult orb, which you can find around the map. First thing you need to understand is the terms full buy, eco, and force. When someone says you should full buy, this generally means you should buy a phantom or a vandal, as well as full shield and utility. When someone says you should eco, this means you should save your money, and not buy a full loadout. On these rounds you should still buy, however, but just make sure you have enough for next round. Eco rounds don't have to be a free round for the enemy team. Your goal in an eco round is to try and damage the opponent's eco. Lastly, there is force. This could be when 4 people on your team have enough for a full buy, but perhaps you don't. This means you should probably force the best gun you can with armor. If your team then loses that round, don't worry, you'll most likely be ecoing anyway. Let's look at attacking. Your priority when attacking is to take map control, burn through defender utility, and inevitably plant the spike. Planning your attack starts in the buy phase. Usually people will choose one of 3 attack methods. Straight sight with a mid presence or lurk, and a default. When someone says you should default, this means playing for picks. As attackers, you'll spread out across the sites and try get a pick. If you find one, you'll then continue to push there as the enemies will be weaker. You shouldn't only be watching your eco, however, you should also watch the enemies. If they are on low funds and are ecoing, it might be worth sticking together and going for a more direct take, because if you go alone you could end up giving them a free gun and turning the odds in their favour. Next, looking at defence. You think that defending means killing all the attackers, but you can also win off time. By this I mean not letting the attackers plant the spike. Like attacking, plan in your buy phase. If you are ecoing, sometimes it can be wise to stack a site so you have a stronger presence and hopefully take some of the enemy's guns. On a buy round, you usually want to split 2 defenders on each site and 1 watching mid. However, there can be variations to this, as some maps, like Pearl, have 2 sides to mid, or in the case of Bind, there is no mid. Therefore, you can have a third on a site for a stronger presence. When the round starts, you want your info agents and utility to identify where the attackers are coming from and slow them down. If the attackers do get onto the site, sometimes it can be better to back off and wait for your teammates to rotate, and then play retake with them.
Well, I guess we're reporting Jet.
You can also deny the plant by using the utility you hold. Don't forget this. When defending, you should try to not always flank, as it can become predictable. You should also watch the attacker's eco, as giving away free guns for pushing recklessly can turn their eco round massively into their favour.
Timing. Backside.
What makes Valorant different from other FPS games is that you have to be standing still to shoot accurately. There is 3 levels of damage you can do. Headshots do the most, and some guns can be one-shot headshot. The lower you hit down the body, the lower the damage you'll do. As a new player, you tend to aim more towards the floor, meaning that you'll be shooting players in the legs and taking more time to kill. Within Valorant, there is a whole shooting range that you can learn the recoils of each gun. If you want to learn to improve your aim, you can also check this video out. Link is in the description below. When you are just starting to play, you won't know the maps, and there's quite a few of them. Don't worry too much about this, you'll learn them as you go. You will develop game sense the more you play. Expect to die over and over again, but it's all a learning experience. At first you'll have no clue where the other players are coming from, and this is why your mini-map is your best friend. But that's it, without trying to confuse you too much, this is the most I can give you. If you enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing to see future guides to help you out. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.